Well, hello friends, it's Christy, and today we're going to continue with building our website base. And what we covered in our last lesson, I had you register a new domain and set up hosting with Springs Hosting. And also in that lesson, I had you install WordPress on that domain. Now in this lesson, we're going to take that domain and route it through Cloudflare, which provides a content delivery network. That's a CDN. They'll provide that service for your domain. Now, what is a CDN? Well, basically what a CDN does is it allows your website to run faster and serve more locations quicker than it would if you just have your website being hosted in one location, and that's the only location on the planet where people can access your website. It causes it to slow down depending on how far away the regions are that are trying to reach your website. So what a CDN does, what Content Delivery Network does, is it provides services throughout the world. If you take that domain from Springs Hosting and route it through the service of a CDN like Cloudflare, it will then serve that site at other locations that are closer to where people are trying to access your site, and it'll cause it to run faster throughout the world. So a CDN is a very good thing to set up for your website so that it'll run quicker and it'll increase the speed of your site. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and go over to Cloudflare. That's all right. You'll see Cloudflare right here, and you'll go ahead and click on that. And if you don't have an account with them, you're going to hit sign up. Now I have an account, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And you'll go ahead and set that all up. And then what you're going to do first is you're going to click this little button over here on the right. It says add a site. Enter the domain that you're going to bring over here, which would be then we're going to hit continue. And of course, they always want to upgrade you to all kinds of firewall settings. You don't need any of that. Just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom where it says free. You're going to hit that. Hit continue. Okay, you can see right here on the screen the DNS is being checked right now by Cloudflare, and that could take a few hours. So while it's doing that, we'll have to wait until they get that check done, and then we'll be able to continue our process of routing the domain from Springs Hosting through Cloudflare and back. All right, so we'll come back in as soon as it's done doing its check. Okay, I'm back in my Cloudflare account, and you can see here I have Creative Profits Academy, the new domain I added, saying pending name server update. So we'll click on that, and you can see the orange box that we had before is now blue, and it's showing that it's ready for me to assign the name servers that Cloudflare is providing. I'll assign those to my Springs Hosting account. And they have a nice little button here to click to copy, so that's going to make things a little easier. So we'll go ahead and leave that tab open. Click over here to Springs Hosting, and I'm going to log in to my account. And then what we'll do here, we'll click on our domains, and when the domains come up, we'll come over to that domain we're working on right now. And in here it has a little, you see this little wrench? We're going to click that. That allows me to manage the domain. You can see the name servers are here on the left, and they have this registrar lock. Now that lock is what is used to keep people from transferring the domain from one service provider to another without my permission. So usually you want the register lock to be on to keep people from being able to do that. But because we're in the process of changing name servers and routing it through Cloudflare, I'm going to have to first, before I can do any changes in here, I'm going to have to first unlock the domain. So we'll click on register lock, And then you'll see right here it says the status is enabled. Now we're going to unlock it for right now, disable it while we change the name servers. And now that it says disabled, we can go over to the name servers tab over here. These are the Springs hosting name servers. And I'm going to replace these with the ones from Cloudflare. So we're going to scroll, tab over to Cloudflare. I'm going to take this domain, the first name server right here, ANAHI. We're going to click to copy. Then we're going to go into Springs hosting. I'm going to delete out basically all of their name servers, and I'm going to replace them with the name servers from Cloudflare. Okay, now that I put all those in, I'm going to hit change name servers. Wait and see. There it goes. Changes saved successfully. Then I'm going to click on register lock, and now we're going to enable the register lock again. So click that. Okay, there it is. It's locked. So that's all you have to do. You just have to move those name servers from Springs hosting, have it route through the Cloudflare name servers. Okay, so now I have noticed here that our domain is now active on Cloudflare, and there's one more piece we have to add to the DNS records on Cloudflare in order to redirect that traffic through Cloudflare's service back over to Springs hosting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click back on the DNS records. We're going to go down here, and you're going to see there's a bunch of information in here. Pretty much you can leave what's in here, but we're going to add 2 more records. Now those 2 new records that we'll be adding to the Cloudflare DNS configuration are 2 new CNAME records. However, we're not going to add those now because we need to work on setting up our email list, and those records are directly related to connecting your domain with your email account with MailChimp. And so this is the section we'll be going in order to add those new CNAME records to verify our domain when we go to email through our domain with the MailChimp servers. So this is where we're going to go when we do that, but we're not going to do that right now. We'll do that when we get to the section of setting up your email list. For now, though, I have one more thing I want to show you. This could be a problem for you, and it's something that I experienced when I registered these new domains. It doesn't affect my older domains that were in the system already. They run just fine with this proxied setting. And Cloudflare automatically puts these settings to proxy whenever you add a new domain to their servers. And so this is normally the configuration you're going to want to have for your site. However, if you just set these sites up for the first time, there's a possibility you're going to have a disconnect between Cloudflare and Springs hosting. And I experienced this where I would set up a domain and then it would run for a day, and then the next day I'd come in and it would be down. So I was really quite puzzled about this. Springs hosting tech team couldn't figure out what was wrong because all my configurations were correct. And so I did some research and I found this article on the Cloudflare help section. It says minimize downtime, and they talk about how they have to do some major checks to see if I own the domain when I set up a new account. And if it's a new domain, they said that there could be issues with SSL, there could be issues with their system recognizing it until they've done all of their checks to make sure that you have the certification that you need for SSL. And so they said to minimize downtime, something that you can do, and they recommend, is setting everything up with DNS to just take the proxy status off and go DNS only. And when I did that, I was amazed. It actually fixed the problem I was having with Cloudflare and my web hosting. It would be up for a little bit and then it would go down, and they said that's kind of what happens with a new domain. So it is recommended by Cloudflare to just set these as, instead of being proxied, we're going to edit it to just be DNS only. And then we'll save that. So we're going to do that with all of these records on the new domains that we set up until they finish all their checks. And I'm not sure if they'll send an email out to let you know when they finish the checks, or if you just need to go in and put them all back on proxy after a week or two. But that's what I'm going to do for now, because I've had so much trouble with my domains going up and down with their checks. So with these new domains, the old ones are fine. I have no trouble with all these settings normally, but that is what happens apparently when you set up a brand new domain on their system. So just set it over to DNS only if these are new domains, and just give it some time to go through those checks, and it should work for you. All right, so this might take a little bit to update, but hopefully it will be live soon. All right, there it is. The site is live. When you load it, it's going through Cloudflare's servers and redirecting back to Spring's hosting. So we are back in business, and we're ready to go on to the next stage of setting up our site.